Okay, I'm going to show you how we built our sprung ballet dance floor, which is right here. We've got our bar set up in the wall. So what we did is we got a 8x4 plywood, and you want to get a hardwood, nice quality piece of hardwood, because it tends to sort of warp if you don't get a good deck. So this is our 8x4 plywood. And I got 1x1 pieces to go around and make the frame. The most important part of the sprung floor, though, is inside. So the most important part of the floor is the subfloor, where we have some foam cushions. And I bought a bunch of foam cushions from a company called Stage Step Incorporated. And they're self-adhesive, so you just peel off the back and you can stick them down underneath the floor. So I made it so that we can lift up the floor, and you can see you could probably do a better job at distributing them equally. This is still sort of an experiment. So all these give the sprung floor its sort of bounciness. I also I cut the plywood in half, and I put a hinge here, which I think adds a little bit extra movement to the floor, but it also allows you to sort of fold it up and put it away in a 4x4 spot. I also put hinges here as well, so you can fold up this whole frame and put it away. So it's sort of semi-portable, although it's a little bit of a challenge to sort of take it apart. So underneath the frame, I put a much thinner piece of plywood to make it more lightweight, and that's what I have the Stage Step foams stuck to. So you can see they're stuck to the bottom, so that's sort of permanent. A simpler way that you could do this is you could take these foams, you should just get the plywood by itself. I think the most simple version, get the plywood by itself, get these Stage Step foams and stick them to underneath the plywood, and then you just have a dance floor. It won't have sort of the finished edges, but I think it'll work just as fine. You just got to be careful that your dancer doesn't step off or sprain their ankle. So I'll put this back. We'll talk a little bit about the deck. So you got to fit it into the frame again, which is pretty easy. Then I took my Harlequin vinyl mat and I cut it to size, and then I just used a staple gun and I put the stapled in so it sort of stays nice and flat and flush. And of course I used a piece of just duct tape. Dance stores also sell a kind of a dance floor tape, but really any quality duct tape would work to sort of cover up that seam. And that's our dance floor. So when you jump on this floor, first of all, it feels like it has a give, and you can maybe see a little bit of give to the floor as you jump on it. It definitely feels much better than jumping on the concrete floor, which is very hard. And of course you have the Harlequin vinyl down that provides the necessary friction and avoid slipperiness. This floor has worked excellent for us. Altogether, I think the wood materials, I believe, cost about $250, the plywood and the frames and also a little bit of the hardware, but again, you can do the simpler version. And the Stage Step, I'll put a link to the Stage Step product in maybe somewhere in this video, and also the price that I paid for that. And that's your dance floor.